what do we do about Stefani Carter? Out of 5 state representatives, we approved 4 of them, voted with Ken Paxton, and stuck with him, including Ken Paxton, of course. That's kind of unfair because, there are people like Jody, there are people in the area, so we only had 1 that didn't. And we worked harder on this one than any of the rest of them. She got a clear, consistent message from her constituents and her volunteers, and she kept trying to move the goalposts. Only the people who live in my district. Oh, okay, we're going to have the meeting on New Year's Eve. Okay? Still got the same message. And she has a problem with lawyering. I'm not going to say I'm going to say lawyer. She is a Harvard-trained lawyer. And she just has a problem with that, and I asked the question. Yeah. And our options here, I'm not personally going to request anything at this point because I've been too involved in the whole thing, and I like Stefani as a person. As a representative, that's another issue. I'm not in her district. I do know what I would do if there was a good proponent, but that's another point. This group has to make a determination. Are we going to leave her T approved at this point?
No.
All right, well, my question was, or do we wait until the session's over and then confirm?
No.
I want to remove it now. How many are in favor of removing it?
No vote yet. No, we need to speak. I'm actually as conservative as anyone in this room.
Yeah.
I've been fighting for 30 years. We need to give them a chance. No. And hold her to the...
No, you can't.
Well, wait a minute. Let him speak. Let Brett speak.
My point. I want you to come on forward.
Come on forward. Yeah, come on, guys. Everybody, he has a very valid point. Listen to him, please.
All right. I got involved 2 years ago because Brian McCall voted for Joe Straus to get rid of Tom Craddock. Okay, I said I'm going to get involved for the first time ever in grassroots so I can get rid of Brian McCall so that we can get a speaker, conservative speaker of the House. Okay, when this whole thing went down, I had to sit back and say, what is my real agenda? And that's to pass the conservative agenda. Things like a photo, voter ID, with very strict limits on, I don't know how many of you actually know, but if you're a student, you can get a photo ID, a driver's license, and you can be illegal. So what good does voter ID do if you got a photo and it's a photo driver's license, but you really aren't even a citizen? So we have to make sure the bills are very, very conservative written. And that's where we need them on our sides, and we don't need to make enemies of people that could be our friends. Okay? I'm telling you, Stefani will vote right 9 out of 10 times, but that 10th time we're going to hold her accountable for it. But it's better to have somebody on our side 9 out of 10 times than 6 out of 10 times, like Brian McCall.
Actually, three out of 10 times like Carol Kent. She's
Right.
still improvement over that.
So I'm just asking you, we can hold off on taking away that T approval. That's one of the things we have on our side to hold them accountable. Don't waste it now when our passion gets the better of our judgment. Okay? Jerry Madden, we talked to him, we were blue in the face with him, he would not budge. But he said, give him the bills, and he'll work to pass them. So we have to use what we have, and don't misuse the last thing we got was this T approved.
Can I ask you a question? What you say has some merit to it. What I don't understand is they're beholden to Straus to the point that they fell on their swords, and they knew they were doing that, and the hook is in so deep. What makes you think that the hook will come out where they will not be directed how to vote on every issue that comes up?
And this is where I agree with you 100%. What do we have now to hold them to it? We still have our energy and our passion to put together that list of the 50 bills that are going to be deemed must pass. And we're going to put them on our websites, and we're going to put those bills, and we're going to show how they vote on every single one of those bills, so we can hold them accountable in the next primary. And we've got to have a list of our top 50 bills, whether they're pro-life or economic issues or immigration issues. We've got to all agree. If we can't agree, how can you expect our legislators to agree?
Jim?
Yeah, I work for Stefani's campaign. I've got a lot of opinions about her. She is, you talk about her lawyering, she's a lousy politician. She's no Slick Willie. She doesn't she doesn't know how to lie properly like a typical politician does. She's not skilled in So she's kind of easy to read in a lot of ways. Is she going to get better at this over the next couple of years? Absolutely she is. But my instincts are just like yours, Bob. I want to yank it. I don't want her to have T approval after what's happened here. But can we afford to be purists about every single thing? Right now, the T approval is leverage that we can continue to use to try to influence future votes. And I'll tell you, Stefani is somebody that can be rolled very easily. She's been rolled before, she'll be rolled again. If
Give us an example.
What's that?
Give us an example.
Of her being rolled.
Yeah.
The Strauss vote, we talked about it.
She rolled the wrong way.
Yeah, she didn't roll over for us.
from July.
No, she was rolled by them,
Okay, yeah.
flat out.
What makes you think she's gonna roll back?
My question
There is no, but what do you gain by removing T approval now? The re-election is a year and a half now. It's a year and a half.
I'm finishing it.
Are we talking about being a politician?
Keith, we'll get you started. I didn't think this was going to turn
We're talking
into
about leverage.
Okay, but if the one,
Leverage.
okay, let me ask you a question. How many votes are you gonna allow her to have?
Are they running the meeting or you?
He's a member of the board too.
Okay.
But let him speak for
Okay,
him.
we'll get the whole board of it, but I want to speak to the board.
If we're gonna set a goal
I got
for
a
150,
bridge to sell you when the meeting's over too.
and supposedly the ones that are most important is gonna be number one.
I would suggest we table this and let you speak.
Yeah, we will in just a minute. We have one individual who wants to say his piece, and then we'll leave it at that.
I think we should table it like Keith said.
Yeah, we'll do it.
I have a question. Okay, you're talking about the future. The future was November, and if my addition is correct, we ended up with 101 Republicans, the largest majority we've ever had, and yet I don't understand this vote. On the day the caucus was held, the vote was held, did we not have the number of people, 101, to, if they voted, along with their party and their principles, to take back the Speaker of the House?
Yes, let me give-
Okay,
let
and
me
we
give
didn't,
you-
excuse me, I'm not finished.
I know what you're
You
saying.
know what I mean? Yeah, you know where I'm
I
going.
know
Well,
exactly where you're going.
I don't want you, excuse me,
That's not what I said.
I don't want you to guess, I'd rather let you know. The bottom line is, I question if what we've done up through November gave us this majority, and we had more than enough numbers to take back that speakership of the House. Yet, you talk about getting enough money to fight Austin. The bottom line is, if in fact these people had voted with their constituency, we would have the House, and we would be able to see to it that the conservative values that we work so hard for would have a chance of passing. With Straus as Speaker of the House, you got about as much chance of buying the Brooklyn Bridge with a toll booth for nothing.
I actually concur with you.
But this business, wait and see.
Well, it's not wait and see.
My friend,
No.
Don't give up your leverage.
you got a lot to learn.
Let me finish my point.
Yeah,
But the point I was trying to say is, they have made commitments, and here's what happened with Joe Straus. Joe Straus put out there and saying he's a Ronald Reagan conservative, and he's gonna pass the conservative agenda.
Guys, we've got myself and a guest to speak.
Oh.
Legends out there. We need to table this.
But the point is, just consider that we now have someone claiming to be a Ronald Reagan conservative as Speaker of the House, and now we need to show them what the agenda is. They don't know what the agenda is, must be agreed on something.
Okay, folks, we're going to call it quits here. We're going to let Keith speak first. We will then take this right up after Keith is done. Okay? Is that good, Keith?